Hi friends, just a 10-second warning to say, hey, I'm not actually in the video, something went wrong with my camera, whatever. I'm in most of the other videos for today, just this one was the last one recorded. Here's the lottery ticket I mentioned. Enjoy the episode, you can hear me talking, everything is just working as normal apart from me. I'm not in it, but that's fine. I'll catch you next time, thank you. Enjoy the episode. Hi friends, let's take a look at Tezos. I'm Rocky Outcrop, this is the Rocky Outcrop channel. We look at 4 different coins daily doing crypto technical analysis. That's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink and Tezos. And of course we do bonus coins from time to time, for instance Litecoin that we took a look at in the last bonus video. So let me know in the comments down below if you want to see anything else, and let me know if you watch the other videos as well and all that sort of stuff. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out as well before we get started in this video to a good now one of the Rocky Outcrop in the world who absolutely deserves a shout out. So just coming back over here and looking at the chat I've been having here, and I just wanted to say one request: can you tell my name for once in your channel? My name Amith. Is it Amith or Amith or whatever? It's great, my friend. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad to have you as part of the Rocky Outcrop family, and as well, cheers Bobby, thanks very much for getting involved as well. You can get a shout out while we're at it, and as well to JCC, thanks so much as well for all of that. So thanks to everybody who's part of the family and part of the community. I really appreciate it. Let's take a look at Tezos and see where we've come from, where we're going, and what could the chat be. So everything's looking really rather rosy over here in the Bitcoin time frame. This is the 4-hour chart. We'll take a look at the dollar one as well. Things are looking good here, but there are a little bit more questions to be asked in terms of the price action, but things are looking very, very good at $2.24 just currently, having satisfied our question from yesterday's video title, but will we see that $2.24? And kind of, if you've been watching along, you know that we've had various questions in mind about will we see things be able to achieve a couple of little things in the smaller time frames, and we're seeing that happen, so that's good to see. So we're above this green line here, which is the 382 on the Bitcoin prices, which is good, and we could look towards the 50% perhaps, but if we did need to have a retest and things at 3,000, that might operate as support now. That'd be quite good if it did. We wouldn't want to see the prices go back down below 2,900 at this point here, where we have the 21 EMA coming in. In terms of the last couple of highs and things like that, we've got divergence. No, we don't really. But if you look over towards this high, quite a ways back, really over at the 9th of April, it's not that far, but in terms of the 4-hour chart, it's far enough. And where we are now, we could start to see a bit of divergence. So we'll take a look at the bigger time frames and see how that shapes up. Over here on the ADX, they don't have the white line coming up above 20 just yet, which we want to see happen, but of course these are diverging away from each other, the blue and the red, and that's positive to see, and things are looking kind of good overall. We're in the bullish control zone here. We wanted to see the prices have another stab here, avoiding the divergence. In fact, as we talk about it though, there is the potential for divergence here as well in Stochastics and the MACD just in this current little time frame that we're seeing play out just now, and that would be okay if it played out in terms of just having a higher low come in. So we want to see that rather, and that plays back to that 2950 area, 2900 and 28 up here where we've got these two moving averages here. That's where I want to see this price to stay above on the Bitcoin time frames here. Looking at the daily time frame, the questions really do become as to whether we can get above the 3,100 and 3,200 area where we have the 50% retrace coming in at, or would we see prices turn around there? Be cautious in that area. I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice, but that's the next thing that we're looking at in terms of those things and how that'll play out. But then let's then have a refresh our eyes then here. Let's look at the downward slope we've got on the 50 simple moving average. It's sloped down the way, but could it turn around here with this price action soon enough? We think it will, because if we measure it from when, say, this big drop, well, no, this drop here happened over to where we are here. That's 37 bars. So in the next couple of weeks, the 50 moving average will have the suppression of the fact that the the price action's all been below where we are anyway. So that's kind of good in the longer term side of things and that. But we want to see it turning around soon and not come in here and go for a touch off this 200 simple. I'd be aware of that dynamic if it happened, and there was question marks happening in and around the 200 simple and the 50 simple near each other. If we'd see some pullback and tests of those averages at that time and stuff like that. So that's something to look out for over the next couple of weeks. In terms of where we are right now, we've come up to the top of this channel at 230 area. 228. We call that close enough. Is close enough to sort of the 230 targets. And we want to see the prices actually close this candle up above to 215. I know that's a ways away from where we are now, at 5% move away from where we are now, but we want to see it close above 215 in order to set this in and say, like, we've managed to achieve above our 382 here. We're up above certain areas in terms of like highs here and things like that, and we're looking towards the upside. And then equally, of course, we want to see this maintain up here and not be divergent. And ideally, for this to come up here and to not be divergent. But we're talking about ideals, and ideally for this to not be divergent, we're talking about ideals again. And at which point though we could start to get quite bullish on this and ask, will we break out above this area, above the 233 area, and look beyond targets up above outside of this channel? However, that's all very much the sort of bullish and the sort of the free lottery ticket thing. If you watch my Bitcoin video, you know what I'm talking about. We don't want to get a irrational sort of disappointment if the prices don't go above that area, because we can look in here and we can say, look, we're at the top of the channel, we've come up to this horizontal support line, we've got various areas above us that we've achieved a lot in terms of the prices coming up to where they are now. If they were to go down and have anything, we wouldn't be feeling like there was much of a correction on the go until we broke down below 185 even, or 190 thing. The $2 element is obviously going to have going to be something to remember as well. It's sort of the round number of the $2 and the fact that you've got a couple of moving averages in here, and it's the median line of this sort of trend, this parallel channel that we're in. You'd have the middle line drawn in there, and of course it's probably right where the Bollinger Band is and everything else too. The Bollinger Band median line in about that $2. So generally speaking, staying above that's what we want to see happen. Going down to the 4-hour time frame and looking at, we see that the prices have come above that 215. Again, that's why I'm saying we want to see them maintain up here and try and open and close above 215, 220 area, so that we can look towards the prices being above where we were before. But having said that, in terms of this current phase of the market, we need to then see the prices come up here and actually have a little bit more of an oomph about them to avoid getting a touch of bearish divergence here on the oscillators that we're looking at. But those are just warning signs. Overall though, in terms of price action, seeing the prices turn around at the top of a channel and come back down to retest and put in a higher low is absolutely natural. So we could see movements happening. And the reason I'm kind of sort of talking about this so cautiously is that these are sort of 10% moves that you could have in either direction. You don't even need to use leverage to be making decent money trading on that sort of those sorts of moves. So and if you are using leverage, then a 10% move is 100%, at 10x and stuff like that. Well, actually, that's oversimplistic, but you get the point. Anyway, it's worth being cautious and that. But in terms of the rosy picture, you need to see actually prices move above 235 and stay there for a day, more than a day, certainly more than 4 hours, to get particularly overconfident about things or whatever in terms of the turnaround. We're still under death cross conditions in the 12-hour time frame, with the 50 simple below the 12. We're still in that. We're in golden cross conditions, as you could say, on the daily and on the 4-hour. But in terms of the 12-hour, where these it's worth looking at from time to time. There's a lot of confluence in here in terms of highs and lows and how this could all play out. And you see the 50 simple down here at the bottom of the channel, the 200 in there at the middle line. In terms of the interacting between these different price points and the moving averages, you could look at the 12-hour, I suppose. Not financial advice. Over the next wee while, try and get some clues about things. In terms of the price separation between the exchanges, it's flat. You can see the channel that we've got drawn in here as well on this particular one. We changed it to a channel and fiddling around with things, chopsticks there recently on the other chart. You can see though, if the prices do maintain up here, this is looking at the 12-hour as well, the oscillators are closer together there. You could maybe see a golden cross question coming in on the terms of the HitBTC chart on that one. They're a little bit further away over there on whatever than that is, Bitfinex, Binance as well, are all a little bit further away. The HitBTC chart could have movements in terms of crosses happening a little bit sooner, I suppose. So if you're looking at those things, you could look towards that chart, I suppose, for maybe slightly earlier information on that front. And above our heads, 230 is what we're looking at. In terms of summaries, 230 median line here at 210 would be ideal to stay above 215 overall in terms of being in terms of making higher highs. 220 really just to be comfortable on that front in terms of opens and closes, to be higher than over here, but that'll be happening. If that happens, then we've got divergence. If it doesn't happen, then we don't have divergence quite yet. We could just do it in a subsequent candle down the road and maybe do it without the divergence. If it does happen now, it happens with a touch of divergence in there potentially. Should the prices come back down, then we could be looking anywhere down to $2. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope the prices go up, of course, as well, by the way. And yeah, here, Amit, I hope I got your name right. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. And yes, thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. I massively appreciate it. And watch the other videos if you like those too. And let me know in the comments if you wanted to see something else and all that chat. And I really appreciate it. It's great to see the channel growing and everybody enjoying it as it's going along. It's so much positivity out there. So I massively appreciate everybody's engagement. It's been 99.999999% absolutely fantastically positive so far. So thank you so much. I've got a really sore throat, by the way, today, so my voice is a bit off. Catch you later.